Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drug Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing great, quite well, actually. I've been drinking and watching movies, and then...
That does not sound like you.
Man, it really isn't. But... But a man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Got a job to do, Alex, and is here to protect all of the nerds out there from the shitty movies that they shouldn't see, so they can come here and learn about it first.
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it.
And to celebrate the ones that are underappreciated, they got to come here. That's what they come here for, and that's what I do. I sacrifice to get a little bit back, give a little something. To get a little something.
Yeah. Today we're kind of celebrating something that I feel like is, I'd say, aptly appreciated. Like, I don't feel like anybody feels that this is like, oh man, John Wick underrated.
Well, we gotta celebrate it. That's what I'm saying. This is one of the celebration days.
No, yeah, for sure.
But you know what? Before we go any further, I'd just like to say thank you for watching this podcast. If you think it's funny sometimes, and if you don't think it's funny sometimes, like and subscribe right now. Just give us a thumbs up. It's the little one right there. I don't know. I'm sure you never heard this before, but if you click the little bell
I'm sure this
after
is your first
you subscribe, you'll get a notification. And the best thing about all of it is it's free. It costs you nothing.
Costs you absolutely nothing. Guys, my name is Jedi Master Grayson. Today, we already hinted at this, but today, in celebration of the 4th installment of the wildly popular John Wick series, we decided we'd go back in time and cover the first 3 installments of the John Wick franchise, I guess you could say now, officially. Now that we're going into 4, and there's a 5th film announced. There's a Continental movie announced. Ana de Armas is apparently supposed to have a spin-off movie in this world. It's crazy. There's a lot going on with this universe. There's a lot of history to talk about, like how this movie got made, which I'm really excited to get into. Before we do any of that, I'm excited to hear what you have to say, because this is your first time watching the John Wick movies. I'm curious what your first initial thoughts are on the first movie, because we're going to just go in order. What were your initial thoughts on John Wick 1?
Yeah. Yeah. That's my first thoughts.
So that's a good that's a good pull.
I was like, damn.
That's weirdly one of John Wick's catchphrases.
Yeah, like the third movie, he said it, and he hadn't said it like the whole movie, and then he said it at the end, and I was like, yeah. I was like, damn, this is crazy. He just said, yeah.
It's pretty, pretty insane.
Also, one of his favorite ones is, no, I don't think I am. That's a good one.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'm right.
I don't know why I picked up on those stupid things, but like he doesn't say much, so like it's easy to pick up on little tiny things, right? Like that.
Well, like since obviously I've heard of the franchise before.
Never heard of this movie before. Crazy part about it is I never had heard of the John Wick franchise until about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was
literally been living under a rock.
I was in the movie. I was in Ant-Man, and then I said, "Well, what's Keanu Reeves been up to lately?" Just so happens this trailer comes on. What are the odds?
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, but watched. I did my homework, and here we are. We're doing a podcast about basically this is more so a podcast about how I've never seen the movie and like what do I think about the movie since I've never seen it, since I'm the only person in the country who'd never seen the movie before a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like, did you feel like the hype ruined, like specifically the first movie? Do you feel like the hype ruined like the impact at all? Do you feel like
No, because people are mostly stupid. So like I knew what people I knew, I knew what kind of movie it was, watching it. This franchise is basically exactly what Nicolas Cage tried to do with that one movie. I can't remember the name of it, where he was like this crazy assassin dude. It's one of his like B movies.
like Ninja? No, not Ninja Assassin. Bangkok Dangerous.
I think that's what it is. Bangkok Dangerous.
Yeah, I think that's. How do I remember that movie?
Because it's a terrible title.
So
I remember the movie poster. You know what I mean? Like
me
it was
too.
like basically he was like wearing red instead of black, so he's like the red suit John Wick.
Yeah,
They should have him in that. That should be Bangkok Dangerous should make an appearance in the John Wick 4. I hadn't seen John Wick 4.
Yeah,
but John Wick 5, we need Bangkok Dangerous.
It would be great. John Wick and Nicolas Cage. Let's get it done.
You mean Keanu Reeves and Nicolas Cage?
Well, yeah. That's not what I said.
No, it's John Wick and Bangkok Dangerous. That is his name. I mean, I've never seen the movie, so that is his name in my opinion.
It should be John Wick 5 : Bangkok Dangerous. Because there's weirdly only one movie in this franchise that has the like colon like subtitle. It'd be great if they brought it back just to add Bangkok Dangerous to the end.
Bangkok Dangerous.
But it is like interesting that because like this movie, like there are the movies like Bangkok Dangerous and like other movies where
RRR.
Well, I mean RRR. That is kind of also incredible in its own way. But
saying.
But just talking about like movies that came out before this, there are these like action films, but they didn't really like hit the mark like this one did. And I think a couple of reasons why I think this one had such a big impact is obviously the action. The guys who directed it were stuntmen. One of them was Keanu Reeves' stuntman on The Matrix. And yeah, I think that like them having a keen eye for what is most interesting about fight scenes and seeing how things play out, and their editor being having a background in ballet and dance, wanting to see like the whole spectrum of things. I think that really added to what made this more interesting. What did you think of the fight scenes in the John Wick first, or all the series? I guess
I will say this about the fight scenes. Fight scenes are probably the most hyped up part about this series.
For sure, I would say that too.
I would say that like there's gotta be. Well, they slow down a lot of these movements. There's a lot of movements that are slowed down because, Keanu Reeves is old.
Yeah, and you can see like some speed cuts, especially in John Wick 2, whereas like to make things look fast, they're moving faster than they really are.
Definitely in John Wick 3,
there's a lot of tricks
with the dogs. Very good trick with the dogs in John Wick 3. Speeding shit up.
And you see like those kind of tricks in a lot of like action movies. As audiences get more sophisticated, we can notice.
Well, just so y'all know, there wasn't no speeding up nothing in Jet Li's movies. He actually had to slow down his movements, and all the movements you see, they couldn't get him going that fast. Bruce Lee used to move so fast they couldn't catch him on movement in the 70s. He had to slow down his movements so that they could not be a blur.
Right.
Not just a blur. No, that means what was happening. If they tell you to slow down, that means that when you move, you just go from one end of the room to the other end of the room. That's how fast you're moving.
Yeah, like
that's what it looks like on film.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people.
Jet Li was moving so fast. 30 years later, 40 years later, that they have to get him to slow down on camera, like when he's moving. Like, what is it? 145 frames per second? What is it? I don't remember how many it is.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't remember how many it is. Put it in the comments if I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong right now. But anyway, point is, that motherfucker be moving fast. Don't nobody have to slow anything down. So it's odd. I don't know. It's kind of weird watching it, but I don't get like upset about the movie. I'm not like thrown away or thrown out of the movie I'm not like, oh, this is sloppy or whatever. Choreography.
Yeah.
Choreography is great. It's just, a little bit more slowed down for a kung fu movie than I'm used to.
Right. Oh, you're saying this movie, John Wick.
John Wick.
Yeah. It's interesting because like a lot of the fight scenes are like, there's a lot of gun shooting, and I think there's a lot of gun shooting.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna let you just gun shoot.
There are a lot of.
I was gonna let you gun shoot your way all the way through this.
Yeah, I'm gonna gun shoot right through this. But yeah, like there's a lot of gun shooting, and I think that there's a lot of focus on the preciseness of like how good he is, and the the realistic natures of it. Like I've heard a lot of people say that there's like a lot of moments where he takes somebody else's gun, he'll always like check to make sure that it doesn't jam, because it's like apparently that gun is notorious for jamming. So like he'll always like check the chamber or something like that before he goes along. Little things like that I think that elevate it is like little details.
And it's totally, the first two movies are more of a gun porn movie.
For sure, yeah.
Third movie is more of like kung fu movie. Like we haven't explored all of the ways that John Wick could kill somebody.
Right. Yeah, it's very much. Yeah, the third one is more focused, like because of who the villain is, and we'll get to that. It's more focused on like that kind of martial arts style. But let's talk about the first one a little bit. What did you think of? Because like we enter the world of John Wick with his wife passed away.
Spoiler!
He gets
I'm joking.
he gets a puppy, very P.S. I love you puppy, where he gets like a sort of an avatar for his wife's love. She knows that he's a psychopath, and he'll probably go back into just killing people without any emotional support. So she gives him a puppy and is like, I want you to have something to love, not just a car. She even mentions that because obviously he loves the car. And then fucking Theon Greyjoy sees him at a gas station, wants to buy his car. He's like, nah, man. It's like saying you want to buy my woman. It's not going to happen. So then he breaks into his house later.
I like my women like I like my cars. Fully paid for. So I'm into that.
But yeah, then Theon and his goons, they break into Keanu's house, kill his puppy, and steal his dog. What did you think about this as like a whole, like, I guess, opening of the movie? Because this is the first 30 minutes of this movie are very non-actiony. They're very emotionally. It's almost like a A24 movie. It's just like, it's gonna be a movie about a man and his dog before it gets to the violence. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I mean, his wife dies, and he just doesn't go crazy and kill everybody. He legitimately tries to just still be a good person, and then they kill his dog. And then I was like, yeah, that's the kind of reaction that's a normal reaction. Kill everybody.
Normal reaction. Yeah,
that's a normal reaction. I mean, they thought they killed him.
They thought,
but man,
yeah, and they thought he was nobody, which is
also stupid. How do you not know about this guy that's like been killing people for years? Worked for your family. He's done work for your family. Like,
yeah, apparently he's only been like retired for like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, so. Like, what were you, 7? How old is this dude? 20?
You have to just.
You never heard of this motherfucker.
Yeah, you definitely have to buy into the fact that this guy is the dumbest gangster in the world.
Which is why they got Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah, he's kind of the perfect casting for it. And I like, it's interesting how they like kind of put like you mentioned, they kind of put a twist on the fridging trope. This is going to be some real nerdy shit for you guys. The term fridging comes from like this old Green Lantern comic book where they used his motivation to to go after the bad guys by killing his wife and stuffing him in a refrigerator.
Okay.
So it's kind of like been like a trope in movies and all kinds of entertainment where it's like you kill the wife and now you have to go and save the day. But they kind of did a twist on that.
Fridging was like a sex act with a cucumber, but never mind.
No, that's called a whoopsie daisy. But we'll talk about that on the other podcast.
Yeah. It definitely involves Crisco oil. Know that much.
But yeah, I did like that kind of twist because you even see it nowadays where it's kind of the same.
Didn't have ashy hands for like 16 hours after fridging.
It sticks to you.
The
emotionally and
canola
physically.
oil. The canola oil is about the Crisco. It's best to use Crisco, but
don't use the store brand. Use name brand Crisco. Name brand. But yeah, I did like all that stuff, and I think that's like kind of also what sets it apart. Just like that emotional weight of like exactly you're totally on board with John after the rest of this movie.
I thought the ending could have been. It was like an ending that could have been like, this never happens again. You know what I mean? But It was also an ending that was definitely like a wide open for more shit to happen.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like one of the movies like Long Kiss Goodnight where it kind of seems like it's or The Rock, where it kind of seems like it's setting up a sequel, but it's just like, nah, we just kind of want y'all to think about what might happen next. But and if this movie did come out in 1996, maybe maybe there isn't a John Wick 2, 3, or 4, but
right, because they wouldn't have paid him. I mean, that's just a fact. Yeah, I don't know what happened in Hollywood where they started paying actors like they never used to pay actors this much money, especially if he got old. Like, I know what it was.
Hey,
my bad. No, I know what it was. You know what it was?
What was it?
Motherfucking Liam Neeson. Start paying older actors to play action heroes.
Yeah, he kind of did.
Or maybe it was.
No, I think you're right. I think he's one of the. He's
definitely one of the first ones. But you know what? It might have been Die Hard, the fourth Die Hard. Maybe. Die Hard with the cryptocurrency.
Right. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, that movie isn't as well beloved as like.
It isn't, but it just showed you like people will go see a movie. It made a shit ton of money. Yeah. Like people will go see a movie with an old man bouncing off concrete. Like they will believe it.
That's true. Yeah, maybe Taken was inspired by that, and then a whole bunch of people were inspired by Taken. And just to talk about revamps, like this was kind of a revamp this was definitely a revamp for Keanu Reeves. It's like this was the beginning of the Keanu-sance. He had like 3 bombs before this. Like his last hit movie before this was The Matrix. I feel like Hollywood had kind of written him off at this point. He had apparently put all his money into directing his first movie a couple of years before this, and that also bombed. So this was a big moment for Keanu.
Yeah, I don't know if Hollywood had given up on him. It's just I think he decided, okay, I'm willing to do work again. Like Hollywood has wanted him to be John Wick basically.
Yeah,
for the last 12 years, and he's decided, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Or 12 years before this movie came out. Like, he's decided, I don't want to be Neo.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to be, like, action star. The reason he didn't do Speed 2 is because he didn't want to be pigeonholed as, like, an action dude. And he didn't want to work out hard.
Right.
And the only reason he did The Matrix is because they told him he didn't have to work out. He's like, bet.
Yeah, it's interesting because even Matrix, even in John Wick, he doesn't like have like the Marvel body or anything like that. You're not seeing him take his shirt off and see his HGH body.
Right, but he still had to work out for this role because you got a lot of stunts that you got to do. And
absolutely.
So yeah, I'm just saying. I think he decided. That's just me speculating. Now back to what we were talking about as far as
the movie.
The reason people, I'm just saying, reason that people are kind of like with this, I don't think people have always been kind of with it. Like if you look at the Kung Fu movies and action stars in other countries, like in India and China and Japan, their action heroes are old dudes. They don't care about the fact that they've been doing 26 movies for the last 30 years. Right. They're just like, that's dude. Man, that motherfucker had all kind of movies. He's just an old ass, tiny ass Asian man whipping people's asses.
Yeah, Yun Fat, like he was like not Chow Yun Fat. I forgot the other dude's name. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. But
they got old people. Yeah, they respect it.
Yeah, and there, you could see, and these guys, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. I'm very surprised I got that without writing it down. The guys who directed this movie, they were both stunt coordinators and stuntmen on The Matrix, and they learned from. I'm not gonna remember his name, but he was the choreographer from The Matrix. He was like a legend in Hong Kong cinema, and that The Matrix fight scenes, they kind of revolutionized fight scenes at the time because they had these big, long, wide shots where you could see all the things, see all the fights and all the moves. You can see that the actors were actually doing it, and I think that they brought that style into John Wick, where you could see that fucking Keanu was doing everything, and I think that's what really elevated it amongst other things. But yeah, it's cool. Just to your point, that like I think it has a lot of Hong Kong influence, where it's like we're gonna use old dudes, and you're gonna be able to see everything. You're gonna see that this dude's doing it. But yeah, John Wick, he kills a bunch of people. I think 84 is the kill count in the first movie. It's a nice, tight 90-minute movie. And then at the end, he kills Theon and Vigo.
But it ain't over.
He ends. I think it ends with he ends with him bleeding out. But he's got his puppy and he's watching the video of his dog. You think he's gonna die, but nah, he's fine. He gets in his car and he drives off. So let's talk about
call that the big boss ending.
But yeah, he no wait no that's right yeah he breaks the dog out of the animal clinic. That's where he gets the dog. I was like, where did the dog come from again? Yeah, he breaks a pit bull out that was scheduled to be euthanized, and they both walk home. And then John Wick 2 happens. What did you think of John Wick 2? Because this was my first time seeing it too. I weirdly saw John Wick 1 and then 3, and I didn't see John Wick 2 until I saw it with you.
Well, it's crazy. John Wick 2, he's just minding his business again. Fucking cemented his floor up. I don't need this stuff.
You're right.
And then I was totally expecting to have to see another scene of him cracking it open with a sledgehammer.
Me
but
too.
Nope, we're just gonna leave that there. Never, ever gonna come back to this house.
Leaves it closed.
And we came back to get a picture. That's what he came back for. He didn't come back for money. He didn't come back for clothes. Didn't come back for weapons. No. I guess maybe he couldn't have got to him. There was, maybe.
Yeah, we'll talk about
structural issues.
Yeah, we'll talk about that scene. But I think the only reason that scene existed is so he couldn't go back and get that. He had to go to another place. And
you just got to go get some more. This dude shows up. He's creepy, but he knows him apparently because he's got one of them blood tickets.
Right.
And so then he's got to kill this nigga's wife. Sister. He's got to go kill this nigga's sister, which is weird because he's like, I love my sister. Will you go kill her? Thank you.
Thanks.
And apparently John Wick knows his sister very well, so that's also complicated for John Wick.
It's all complicated. It's complicated for a lot of reasons. This movie is very complicated. This plot is way more complicated than the first one.
Yeah, the High Table is the League of Assassins leaders, and she's one of the High Table members. Only way to get a seat at the high table is apparently for somebody to fall off the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like Humpty Dumpty. And never be put back together again. And then the brother becomes head of the high table and he says, you know what? Kill John Wick, everybody. $7 million. Which in this line of work, I feel like that's like a lowball number, like right?
Yeah,
like,
I was kind of surprised by how low it was. Like
so these motherfuckers, no wonder they be killing people all the time with all the suits, air travel, hotels, guns.
The suits are expensive.
I mean, damn dog, like $7 million. I'm cutting into that. Like I'm $3-4 million getting spent just trying to get to this nigga and kill him.
It's like John Morant makes more than that. Come on now.
Come on, dog. Yeah, and I'm like, you see the shit that we be doing out here? Like, and I could go to jail.
It's like I'm breaking the law.
There's all kind of risks. And I'm going to go kill somebody who's literally the most deadly assassin on the planet. Like, you want me to go kill him for $7 million?
Yeah, especially
I'm going to say at home.
Especially when we're in this, like, fantastical world where it's like, you can make the number as big as you want. Like, you could have said $80 million. No one would have batted an eye in the audience. They were like, yeah, that makes sense. Because
it also would make more sense, like, why you see so few people in the world with a whole bunch of money is because there's not that many assassins out there.
Yeah.
If more of y'all would go out there and kill people for a living, then look at what you could have. $80 million. I'm just saying, like, I mean, think about it. You killing people, like, you kill like 16 people a year. You fucking make like, let's just say 10 million people. You kill 10 people a year.
Okay.
You make like, what? John Wick is $7 million. So what? It's like $250,000 for a regular ass nigga. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's like, damn.
After all my cost of living and goddamn travel, airfare, like y'all aren't even covering other than reimbursing anything. Like, I'm gonna need to talk to a union.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
I'm gonna need to talk to a union if John Wick comes up and he's only $7 million. I'm gonna need to talk to my union rep.
Yeah, I'm curious if because there is clearly some sort of union of assassins. I'm curious if all this stuff is sort of included in your memberships. Like, maybe that's where you come out even. It's like you don't have to pay for the Kevlar suits and the weapons and stuff. But you get paid like dog shit.
You just gave me the most amazing idea to replace. It's like we could replace a whole cartoon, like a whole animated series right now. My favorite animated series, The Venture Brothers. You just take the Venture Brothers concept and flip it on his head with this John Wick concept. You just create a League of Assassins and do like the bureaucracy thing.
Yeah.
Man, that angle is hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah. Where's Doc Hammer at? We need to have him come in and collaborate.
Doc! Friend of the show. Doc Hammer, friend of the show.
Doc Hammer, friend of the show.
We've been promising Doc Hammer a Venture Brothers episode. We just got to go back and watch him.
Yeah.
We love you. We love you, Doc.
We love you, Doc.
Please like and subscribe.
Yeah. What did you think? Did you like this one more or less than the first one? Like, did you feel like it was an improvement?
Man,
how did you feel?
I think y'all, somebody was arguing this shit on the bar, at the bar the other day, like hardcore arguing.
Okay.
Well, shout out to y'all for arguing.
Shout out to bar arguments about movies.
Like, they're arguing about John Wick. They see me, they stop me.
Yeah.
Here's the perfect guy to talk about movies. Let's talk to him about this movie. And I was just like, what the fuck are y'all talking about, dude? Like, it's like the same movie. I mean, I understand.
Or were they talking about 1 and 2 specifically?
No, they were talking about all three of them. Which one was the best ones? And I'm like, bro, they're the same movie, dog. Why y'all even like bothering yourselves with just enjoy the movie, dog? Like, nobody was walking around during like the height of kung fu movies, like action movies, I should say, late 80s, early 90s. Nobody was walking around going, which one's better?
Oh, I'm sure they were.
No, I'm talking about like the trilogies and shit. Like, you just be happy to get your next one, man, because you're not, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't ever guaranteed that you were going to get the next one. So you just be like happy that the second one, third one came out. You're like, what? Like, what was that one where they like go to the island, like everyone, like just this regular guys, and then they got to go fight this island.
Bloodsport?
blood sport. They got to go fight every year. All of a sudden, like, oh man, we got another invite. Oh fuck,
Fuck.
we got to go out here. Fuck. Oh no, we don't want to go. And then somebody like gets killed, and then they gotta go to get revenge and shit. Like, or fucking gotta go to go get Tommy back because they kidnapped Tommy or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all those kung fu movies. You just be glad you got another one. Like. So it's just odd. I mean, it's odd to me that it's gotten to this point where people are like culturally arguing about which one's better. There are like three absolutely ridiculous movies, people. Like 3 absolutely ridiculous movies. Like nothing in this movie could happen in real life. And everybody's like, I think that's what blows my mind is like people are like really on it. Like that could happen, dude. Like fucking John fucking Wick, dude. Like I'm like. God damn, for real? People are like on it hard. It's kind of crazy. This nigga does nothing except kill people. People are like, love it.
Yeah, it's funny because like there's definitely. I mean, me personally, I feel like there's a moral ambiguity and stuff like of, or at least there could be of just like every of John Wick's sort of journey in the first movie. I feel like the first movie is like kind of. Special in like with these two directors working together, and you know the other they split off later on, and also just like the emotional weight of him, you know, grieving from his wife and the puppy and all that shit, all that set up in the first 30 minutes of the first movie. I think really helps enforce the rest of the movie, and also being 90 minutes, nice and short, is really really cool. I feel like as the movies go on, that motivation sort of weighs a little thin, but I feel like it's fine. You know, I said in like my Bad Boys review movie that the John Wick movies are kind of very similar to the Bad Boys movies, or like lesser degree Fast and Furious movies, where it's just like we're here to see cool shit happen. We're not here to see like this really great story. But I did feel like, you know, the first one had a better, you know, script, and the second one is my least favorite of the 3, just because I don't feel like it looks that good. I don't know what was happening because it is a different DP. But even the third one looks better than the second one. Like it's just got this weird, ugly color grading where it's just all gray. Doesn't look good. I don't like that. And also John Wick kind of comes off as dumb. I don't know. I don't really like the story for this for this second one. It's too complicated.
No, I mean John Wick is not really a smart dude. I mean,
yeah,
he kills people for a living. He doesn't make nuclear fission. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not a nuclear physicist. Like he's not smashing atoms together. He's not even Batman. He don't even create his own toys.
Yeah, I was just expecting like with this whole thing with Santino. Let's talk about that whole thing for a bit. With, you know, he presents him with the blood oath. John is like, has to do it. I feel like since he's in this situation where he's in a rock and a hard place, he knows like, if I kill this lady, I'm fucked. If I don't kill this lady, I'm fucked. He needs to figure out a third option. You know, this is kind of like basic shit with smart leading characters in movies, which, you know, he's obviously not. But like with his, you know, background, you would assume he's the best. He would at least be a little bit smart. I would have figured like in a better movie, I figured like that would be the moment where he goes to Lawrence Fishburne. By the way, we get Morpheus and Neo coming back together in John Wick 2.
Lawrence Fishburne's character in the first one. He didn't need to.
No, this is when he did need to though, because he had his back up against the wall of the bureaucracy of the whole assassins thing. I think this is the moment where because he goes to him at the end when his back is up against the wall. I think this is the moment where he should have gone to him and been like, "Hey, let's."
He had a reason at that point. Nothing had happened yet. And he had a way to go to convince him to let him help him, because if Santiago, now that Santiago was on the table, he knew that there was going to be some chaos. So therefore, but without the chaos, there's no incentive for the Rat King to help him.
Well, and arguably he has less of a reason to help him at when he does in the movie, because he has a bounty on his head. Before that, he doesn't have a $7 million bounty on his head, and there's no reason for Larry Fish to
arguably
think about.
He doesn't have any reason to help him because there's no incentive for him. Regardless of there's a bounty on his head, there would have been no incentive for him to help because there wouldn't have been any possible war coming because Santiago wouldn't have actually killed anybody. He wouldn't have actually did anything yet.
That's a good point. And I feel like the fact that we could even like dive this deep into the plot it's just like, I feel like the plot is just like very, very complicated in the second one compared to the other two.
That's good. You don't want to have a second movie where it's the exact same as your first movie.
No, yeah, you definitely don't want that.
Especially in this type of movie.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that.
Like why we like The Last of Us. It's not a fucking Walking Dead ripoff or remake.
Right. Yeah. It's you can't just
fresh
like do this.
and it's something keeping the story moving along though.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
It's too much talking about the second one. You don't even like it. Number 3.
Sure. Okay. What happens? So what happens at the end of the second one?
He kills Santiago in Hollow
Santino.
Santiago.
San Diego. He kills San Diego in the Continental.
That's right. Will's vagina. Right there inside of the hotel.
Yeah, and then he's excommunicado. And all the assassins are now after John Wick. End of movie. Beginning of John Wick 3. So this is the the Halle Berry John Wick flick. I definitely like this one a lot more. It's color grading is a lot better. The composition is more interesting, and the fight scenes are dope. We got fucking big fucking dude from the NBA. What's that nigga's name? Who was in the fight scene?
Boban, fool.
Yeah. It's that was a cool fight scene. What did you think of John Wick?
Boban was really slow, really fit his fighting style. It's like a throwaway scene. It's like we might use this.
Oh, they were definitely using that.
Excuse me. But yeah, good movie. Better fight scenes. I liked how they had more things incorporated, and it wasn't like a bunch of gun porn or car chase stuff going on.
Yeah, I did like the
motorcycle
nice
chase, which I feel like they haven't had the entire series, and they had a knife fight.
Yeah, I like the nice
they
stuff.
haven't had the entire series. That was good.
Yeah.
They had a horse fight.
Some horse stuff.
That hadn't happened. Like
some dog stuff.
This movie was how many different ways can John Wick kill people? Not so much how many people can John Wick kill. It's like we've seen him kill so many people. This is like, let's get more creative with ways that he can kill people.
Yeah, I think and that might have helped me like this one a little bit more than the second one.
Not seeing the movie at this point in time, like having not seen John Wick 4 about the making of this video, I just think that that's probably what it's going to be the whole time. You know, you got to figure out more creative ways for John Wick to kill some people. It can't be double tap for 6 fight scenes.
Yeah, I did, not to talk too much more about John Wick 2, but just in comparison of this one, there were a lot, like, by like the third act, it was like, all right, how many times is he going to do this move where he twists this nigga on the ground and shoots him in the head, just shoot somebody else in the head? They did definitely show a lot more.
They did a lot in the third one.
Yeah, that's definitely his move.
Second one. I mean, this is how he disarms people.
Yeah, it's definitely his move.
I mean, there's only so many ways that you can disarm people, unfortunately.
Right, yeah. But yeah, to your point.
You got 2 arms, they got 2 arms.
Yeah.
It's only like 2 ways, really.
But yeah, to your point, yeah, like it's just like there are a lot of more creative ways that he's doing stuff, like knife shit, the motorcycle shit, and fuck, I meant to look it up. The main bad guy in this movie, fucking Jimmy Lee from the Double Dragons. He was the fucking bad guy in this movie. What did you think about Jimmy Lee as the fucking villain?
I didn't even realize that was him.
Hell yeah, that was my nigga right there. He had the shaved head, but he was looking smooth as eggs.
Right now, I didn't even realize that. Damn. That's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh. It was
Oh,
so
it was
good.
great. Look out for our new series. Does it hold up? It's coming out soon.
Yeah, we will be talking about
Mario
that.
Brothers yet? Not yet.
Not yet.
This week?
By the time when this releases, no, it would not have come out yet. No.
Did you change the? Well, I'll ask you later. But yeah.
It's inside
Does
baseball.
this hold up? Inside School, baby. You know what I'm saying? You get it right here. New shows coming right here on the Drunk Banthas channel.
Yeah, man, I was so excited to see. I was like, cause with the shaved head, it was hard to tell if it was him. He was a little older, obviously. I was like, what? Well, wait a second, that's Jimmy. I need to look up this actor's name before
I am definitely
stop being
going
disrespectful.
to, man. Yeah, I can't wait till we do this new show, man. This shit's gonna be dope because like I can't wait to cover all these shows these movies that we used to watch and see if they really do hold up. Like spoiler alert, Super Mario Brothers may be pretty good.
Yeah, this
even
might
after
be a
all
good
this
movie.
time.
Mark Dacascos.
Mark Dacascos.
Man, should have been a leading man. We're not gonna get into that, but he was really, really great in this movie. But yeah, I did like the simplicity of the story in this movie. It was very much just like, all right, everybody's trying to kill John. We see the fun in that for a little bit, first half hour, but then he's like, all right, God damn it, I can't do this forever. I got to figure out a way out of this. So we just delve more into the world and the lore of all these assassins. We get to see where John came from with this Angelica Houston character. And he goes into this library, gets this fucking medallion, puts the two things together, rubs it together, holds it up to the sun, and there's it points to a map. And it shows him where Angelica Houston is. None of this really happens in the movie. And then he goes to Casablanca to meet up with his old friend Halle Berry.
Goddamn beautiful ass motherfucking Halle goddamn Berry.
What did you think of her character's name? Sophia. What did you think of Halle Berry in this movie? Like a new
Did
addition.
an amazing job. I followed her on Instagram. It made me realize why she was doing all this exercising and combat and stuff like a few years ago. I'm like, oh, I guess that was what this was for. Man, I don't be watching movies like I thought I do. Well, I do, but it's just I don't pay attention to John Wick. It's like a movie that I knew I didn't have to see immediately, even though everyone was rushing to see it immediately. I was like, it's not changing anything movie-wise. It's not winning any Oscars. It's not going to be like
Yeah. Yes.
this movie that I have to see.
Yeah, it's definitely not like high art, or I guess what you would say. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. It's
High art.
Yeah.
Oh, I get high all the time while I'm making art.
Yeah, that's
So if y'all don't get high when y'all make art, then your art is whack.
This is the high art section. When you go into the museum, there's a high art section and there's a sober art section. Sober art section is very depressing.
It's Legos and shit. Fucking Etch-a-Sketches.
No, we love all of our.
Etch-a-Sketches of Krusty the Clown's face and shit. Like fucking sober art. Blech.
But yeah, this franchise, I do think like it's a step above like your Fast and Furious movies, at least for the reason that like everything is very grounded and practical. Like it's very much a stuntman movie. There's a lot of really cool stuntman movies out there that don't star Keanu Reeves, that are like directed and produced by stuntmen, and they look amazing, but the stories are bad. I think that's just like what these movies have kind of like turned into, but they're just like on a really large scale. Where
That's exactly
a
what
lot
I'm
of people
saying.
can
It's
enjoy them.
completely ridiculous movies. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They're so ridiculous, but they're super fun. But yeah, like John Wick in this
Something
movie.
you can take your kids to.
Yeah, if you're like our mom and you take us to see Die Hard with a Vengeance as children. But yeah, John Wick, he's on a path to get like redeemed by the High Table. He goes out into the desert.
Well, before that,
Oh,
we see Bron If we're going to talk about Game of Thrones characters, we
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bron's in this.
Of the Blackwater.
Yeah, that's,
and he told him to go fuck himself, basically. But he also told him where to kind of find the leader of the assassins.
Yeah, he's great in this movie, by the way. He only has a small part, but I thought
he let that
I was like, oh, he's
slip
so
a little bit. He let the Cockney slip just a little bit.
Yeah, he does he leads them to where the League of Assassins are. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. While we're highlighting good character actors, I gotta bring up my guy John Leguizamo, and how they did him dirty. He should have hopefully he comes back in the fourth one. But they were
overseas most of the movie.
That is true, and I feel like if they bring it back to his car, because he obviously loved his car. Last time we saw, Johnny Legs was fixing it, so hopefully he'll come back and bring that up. But in the first movie, he has such a great moment. It's one of the greatest moments of the franchise, where there
was literally an explosion that just went off.
Yeah, something just exploded.
A real fucking explosion.
I hope that we're okay. We're gonna just keep it going.
Why not?
Why not? You only live once. There's a moment where Theon, after he steals John's car, he comes to John Leguizamo's chop shop. He's like, hey, I want you to look at this car that I just got. He's like, oh, that's John Wick's car. He's like, yeah, I just stole it from him and killed his dog. And then he slaps Theon Greyjoy. Theon goes back to his daddy, who's big boss man. He calls John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo takes a shot, answers the phone. His boss man is like, you struck my son. Can I ask why? He says, well, he stole John Wick's car and he killed his dog. And Viggo just says, oh, and hangs up the phone. It's like one of the best moments of the franchise, where it's like it alludes to how cool this character is without I don't know. It's a really great moment. Really great.
But it's also the beginning of the first movie. Like, don't nobody need to know how cool this guy is at the middle of the second movie. He's fucking killed 84 people in the first movie. I don't think I'm just saying, I don't think you need to hype this dude up no more.
Yeah, you definitely don't need another moment like that. I was just saying how cool that movie was, since I forgot to say it.
I'm just saying that the vehicle that John Leguizamo was no longer existed for a purpose in the third movie.
Right.
So therefore, when he disappears off with the second movie and he doesn't have his car, like, John Wick don't need his car right now.
Yeah, I said that they did him dirty, but I feel like when he eventually does have to get his car back and it makes sense for the story, Johnny Legs will make his reappearance and it'll be great. But there's already
and he was excommunicado, so John Leguizamo couldn't have helped him anyway.
Yeah, he probably
did help him. He probably would have been one of these dead motherfuckers or gotten his hands cut in the middle of them for something, or I don't know.
Yeah, they put nails in dudes' hands. Yeah, they everybody who helps out John in this movie gets fucked over.
So that's why they didn't want to do John like that.
Yeah, which is ultimately motivates Homeboy's decision at the end.
And who is the hard? Look, I'm just going to go out and give out an award right now. The hardest character in the entire series. Who do you believe it is?
I think I know you're gonna say.
Who?
I think you're gonna say Lance Reddick, homeboy who's the concierge at the Continental.
Nope.
No? Who you got? RP Lance Reddick, by the way.
Whoever played the doctor in the second movie.
Oh yeah.
That nigga got a shot. He took a shot in the stomach. He said, "Shoot me right here." It's okay. Shoot me right here. They ain't gonna never believe that I'll let you get up out of here without helping you. So you shoot me here, and then shoot me. He shot him in the stomach. Then he just like yeah, hit me one more time. No, they ain't gonna believe that shit. Just hit me one more time right here.
Right
just
here.
Be sure not to hit my collarbone.
Yeah, man.
Nigga, you fucked me up.
Can you imagine how scared you have to be, and also, like how hard you have to be to make those decisions.
That nigga was real with that shit. That nigga had got him 2 shots of whiskey and was like, go ahead and pop me one time. Pop! Ooh, shit. I didn't think he was gonna really shoot me, goddamn. Shit, nigga. Fuck. Shit. Hey, shit. Hit me. Hey, just shoot me one more time. Oh, nigga, let me tell you where to shoot me at. Goddamn, nigga, shit.
It's a cool moment too, because he's obviously a doctor. He knows where you could shoot him, whereas it's gonna look bad, but he's like, I'm gonna definitely survive this. But yeah, then we get like a whole bunch of crazy fight scenes. He kills a whole bunch of people, and it looks like him and Winston are gonna kind of come out on top. Him, Winston, and damn, I forgot what the concierge's name was. But yeah.
Well, you're forgetting that you forgot to say you skipped over because I made you skip over, or I made you stop and go back. But yeah, the Sultan, the Shah, whatever this nigga is, the fucking leader of the Nazis. I was about to say Nazi. Leader of the assassins tells him he's got to go kill old, what's his name? George or whatever.
Winston.
Winston. He's got to go kill Winston.
That's right.
So that's the only way you can.
The elder.
You gotta get rid of your excommunicado to go kill this dude, and then you be good. And then he's like, "Nah, man, I'm not killing my friend. I decided I'm not gonna do it." And that lady from the Billions TV show, she's like,
"Right.
Well, we're gonna kill y'all." So everybody converges on to the hotel and tries to kill him. And like you were saying, concierge, Lance Riddick, and Keanu Reeves went blah, 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 blah. And yeah, those were great scenes. Them walking back into the safe room, which was that actual safe. That was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
It's like a safe room. And I like it.
Yeah, it was
and they were reloading and all that stuff. Good gun porn stuff. Great gun porn stuff. Great gun porn stuff.
By the way, this hotel is beautiful. like I like the set design of everything.
Yeah, that's clearly not a real hotel in New York City. Well, I'd like to find out that it is, but surely it's not. It looks too amazing.
Yeah, I know the exterior is like some building in Wall Street, but yeah, I don't think that any of the stuff inside is probably set. Yeah. But yeah, then they kill pretty much everybody. Zero battles John, but is eventually defeated and left to die.
When the sun rises, we kill everybody.
On the roof of the Continental, the adjudicator, agrees to parlay with Winston, who
parlay. Curse the blazes, whoever made up that name.
Nice Jeffrey Rush. But yeah, then they offer
the name's B. Barbosa.
Winston creates an allegiance with the High Table. John arrives and Winston shoots him. Apparently that was a part of their agreement.
No, well, John didn't arrive. He was there the whole time for the meetings. But yeah.
Well, yeah, right. Well,
he's just like, yep, you know what? I'll just kill him. Because she's like, well, that just leaves him. What do we do about him? And he's just like, that's easy. I'll kill him. Bam, bam, bam. It's okay, John. Now, do you think he meant to do it on purpose? Like, not kill him on purpose? Like, he knew he wasn't going to die if he fell off the top of the rooftop of a fucking 70-story building for some reason. I don't know.
I think so. Just only because he could have just shot him in the head. But he's like, I know that this dude will survive anything beyond. He's like the Highlanders. If you don't cut off his head, he's definitely going to survive. So if I shoot him in the stomach and he falls off of a building, he'll probably be fine.
It's an issue for me because every time in his character is genuinely surprised, he looks the same as when he's like faking that he's surprised. So I don't know how to really judge his reactions to things.
Do you think that Winston is still like on the? Do you think in John Wick 4 he's gonna be more of a like sort of like a good guy, but
he's a bad guy. He's bad.
He bad guy.
I'm going with bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the fourth one's gonna go. I didn't watch the trailer or anything. So, but I imagine that John's like, as we see at the end of this movie when he links back up with Morpheus, that he's like, I'm about to kill them all now. It's over and done with.
Well, yeah, I can't wait to see more Morpheus. Lawrence is clearly having a great time. Old Larry Fish. Don't call him that in person. Trust me. Just trust me. Don't call him Larry.
He
doesn't like being called Larry.
I'm not crazy because I didn't rewatch the third one with you, so it's been a minute since I've seen it. Remind me, is there a moment where Lawrence Fishburne asks Keanu what he needs, and Keanu says, "Guns"?
No, that's him and Winston.
Oh, really? Damn.
And he says, "What do you need?" And he said, "Guns. Lots of guns."
Missed opportunity.
But there is a moment where he says, where he asks, Miss Fishburne asks him, "Are you upset?" He's like, "Are you angry, John? Are you angry?"
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah."
Yeah, man. Oof. Great moment. It's really cool to see these two together again too. Like, I know it's a simple little fan servicey moment, but one of these things, like I say with the Fast and Furious movies and the Bad Boys movies, cameos and star power, like you got to add to that as you increase like the cool fight scenes and the action, and they definitely done that with these movies, man. With fucking Lawrence Fishburne, Willem Dafoe, all these cool actors, and then the next one we got fucking Donnie Yen. Yeah, it's gonna be so cool. I'm really excited about John Wick
for most people.
Oh yeah, everybody else. But guys, thank you so much for watching the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, iTunes, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little concierges, and may the force be with you.
Be with you. We love you.